Hey guys, welcome to another video. And in this video, I want to talk about the one reason that you're unhappy as a student. And if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. My name's Akene, and the goal of my channel is just to make videos on personal development one day at a time. And so for this video, if you're unhappy as a student, I think it can be caused mostly just by comparing yourself to other students. And so whether this comes in the form of constantly checking to see how your friends are doing on exams, or other people to see how they're doing on exams, or just constantly checking exam averages all the time. I noticed that for me, being in dental school, that was one of the biggest things that I had to stop doing because, of course, being in dental school, whether you're in, dental school or med school or pharmacy school or even college, I mean, you're going to be in classes with a lot of people that are really smart and really good test takers, and you just have to accept that. And I just noticed for me, it would really bring me down because we could have an exam and I could get maybe a C or maybe a B or whatever the case may be. I could get maybe an 85 on an exam and feel pumped about it, and then check the exam average and see that, oh, it was a 92. And so now all of a sudden I went from being excited about my 85 to feeling sad and feeling like I just can't compete because I was still below the average. And so I just had to stop doing that. And once I stopped doing that, it helped me out a lot because instead of comparing myself to my peers and looking at how everyone else was doing, I started to look more inward. And I started to say, okay, did this exam go better or worse than my last exam in this class? Or if this exam didn't go so well and it's the first exam, what can I do for the second one to improve? Maybe I need to meet with the professor, or maybe I need to talk to some of my friends who are doing really well and kind of see how they're studying for the class. But that way, when you start to look more inward, it allows you not only to get better and continue to improve, but it allows you to feel happy in knowing that you're starting to make progress and you're starting to get better. And even though, let's say, going back to my previous example, you get an 85 on your exam, you might feel good about it knowing that you got a 70% on the last exam. And so even though you didn't get a 92 or a 95 and be, above the average, you still did much better than you did on the first exam. So that's still something to feel good about, and that's still momentum that you can build upon, not only in that class, but in other classes. Because now you've shown yourself that, okay, even though I might not have done too well on the previous exam, I've shown myself that if I work towards getting better, and if I show the initiative to seek out help and talk to whoever I need to talk to, it's shown that I can do better and I can actually do these things. And as long as you know that, that's going to take you way further in whatever academic journey you're in than, comparing yourself to other people and constantly just striving to be above the average. I think the important thing is just getting better and really just prioritizing your learning and how you're learning and looking at that and saying, okay, if I got this score on this exam, maybe I didn't study right. And so if I fix how I prepare for these exams in the future, then maybe, I can get into the ranges that I want to get into. But I think that's the goal. And I've also noticed that along with those average, with comparing yourself, people also tend to strive for certain grades specifically on exams. And I know that also can be tough because sometimes you might take an exam that the professor just made extremely difficult. And you might have an exam where the average for everyone is low, and you might not know it at the time, but you could strive to get an A on an exam and end up getting a C minus on it. Not because you didn't study enough, but sometimes professors will literally try to make exams difficult just to try to see, what you're made of, to also weed out students who aren't, mentally tough enough to hang in there. because in undergrad, a few of my roommates were doing engineering, and one of my other roommates was doing computer science. But they would tell me all the time that their professors would make their exams really hard to the point where their average could be a D sometimes. And they literally did that just to kind of weed out students who weren't mentally tough enough to become engineers. And so that's another thing too that you have to take into consideration is sometimes exams are just going to be hard regardless. But as long as you're doing the best you can to prepare for them and to study for them, that's all you can ask of yourself. And as long as you're doing those things, then things will work out for the better in the end. And so, yeah, you guys, I just want to make that video real quick and talk about the number one mistake that students tend to make. And I still make this mistake sometimes. It's still something that I try to remind myself of consistently, because it gets easy to fall into that same trap of comparing myself and doing those things. But I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I hope you guys found a ton of value. And if you guys stayed for the whole video, I appreciate you. Please subscribe to my channel, and also like the video and comment as well. And I'll talk to all of you guys in the next one.